All right, everyone. So another off-season war here, practicing Absorbing Man, Quicksilver, and Valkyrie. Path 4 in Section 1, Hyperion here. Nothing really to worry about. What I did not actually plan for very well was spiked armor. And all it resulted in was more damage than I expected. And obviously the suicides helped make this a faster fight. But Quicksilver actually took a significant amount of thorns damage from the spiked armor. And then the resistance, the physical resistance buffs actually come into play with the Whiplash after a special 2. Due to trauma, Whiplash isn't specifically listed as physical damage, but the bonus 70% when trauma is up is listed as physical burst damage. So when I detonate it here around the special 2, ends up being an issue. But one nice thing, these withers, they're not good for power control throughout the fight. If you're trying to control it like, let's say, Spider-Man 2099 and Anti-Venom synergy, they're great when you're trying to actually bait out a special and power gain is involved. So if the AI decides they don't want to throw a special, but you keep dexing and triggering those withers, you'll eventually deal with the passive power gain and not have to worry about them reaching special 3 when you're trying to get special 2 out. So yeah, there's the first trauma with the special 2, and he goes down before I can even get to the next special 2. So pretty easy fight. There he goes. So just a little bit of a flex onto Mangog here on the next node. Nothing special about this fight. It has aggressive prowess, and since Quicksilver has 13 hits in his first combo, it's a pretty easy node to keep down, or at least low. So here we're going to do medium, light, medium. I do a couple heavies and try to get that slow out early, so that if we do push Mangog to hatred, he at least won't be unstoppable. So not going to throw the special 1 here, just going to build to the special 2. Again, suicide's helping. Trying to get that special 1 out. He finally throws it. Again, that comment about withers and baiting out special attacks. And then this one doesn't have any physical resistance, so when we get to this special 2, I go ahead and I do the combo to detonate wither or whiplashes and then throw the special 2, and he's KO'd from the detonation. So pretty simple fight. We move on. 26 here, Absorbing Man. I'm really flexing here. Absorbing Man, despite this being class disadvantage, can actually take most champions on this node when in Uru form. I do, however, get screwed by a lag bug. Both the armor break on this node and the bleed/shock will pause my form. When the armor break procs while I'm trying to bait out special attacks, that actually builds morph charges. The plan here, since voids and there's the lag, there's the hit, and that's pretty much it. Due to the heavy animation of void, we can actually heavy cancel into special 1 so that we can refine form, build morph charges, and get that big crit rating on our special attack so that we get the burst damage from all the crit hits, and then I end up KOing here. So unfortunate that special 2 lagged. So we go in, clean it up. The other nice thing is when we are in refined Uru or refined magma, but just not for this node, any power gain effects for void while I'm blocking, I actually steal 72% of it. So conflictor happens when you're parrying, which is a block. So at least for this node, for this matchup, since Absorbing Man doesn't have any debuffs, so I can intentionally parry and then create a window opening for an actual stun, and not worry about all the passive power gain. Since I'm refined here, I do, however, completely forget that the stun's not going to work. But it's fine. Here are heavy attacks, special 1s being thrown. So as I said, he can easily take that matchup in season despite the class disadvantage. Path 9 in Section 2, I'm actually not going to use Absman. We're going to go ahead and use Valkyrie. So again, she's flexing her benefit here of doing most of her damage or doing a lot of damage through block, and ignoring Unstoppable. So if I ever accidentally intercept here and trigger the Unstoppable for thing, once I have one Pierce buff, I actually don't have to worry about it, and I just back off and let him turtle again and then start hanging into his block. So 4 hits into his block. When we have the special 2 ready, it's going to be a full combo so that I can invert it. Again, the benefit of inverting the combo is that if I have multiple of these buffs, the Pierce and the Bulwark, it actually increases the Fury potency on the special 2. So I could spend all fight just maintaining these 3 Pierce buffs and never building a Bulwark and throwing the special 2. Or if I see that my combo is close to a 10 range, then I can go ahead and invert the combo into the special 2, and then we can get those 3 other buffs to really increase the fury if the fight lasts that long. So far so good. I had a couple close calls where I thought I dex back and Thing was actually going to get me, and he doesn't. He ends up stopping short. Here we're already at max Pierce buffs. He's at about 50% health or close. Here I invert the combo right into the special 2. He turtles, he does that little tap. So I love seeing that with Valkyrie. The AI has gotten consistent as to either doing that, and it ends shortly after the special 2, to doing that or coming at you. So just be ready for either. Rintrah here. I quickly realized during this fight that in season, if Rintrah doesn't have suicides, this would be a death from ruptures. So I had the idea that I probably don't need to knock him down that much if I can just get the slow up, because then he'll just be unstoppable. But then there's the part about him building ruptures when he's at his max charges and you're just wailing on him. So here I was getting to the slow. He's actually taking a significant amount of damage from suicides. Now that he's slowed, I'm not actually concerned about throwing heavies, and I'm countering Rich Get Richer with the Withers. So again, just like with Hyperion and Mangog earlier, I'm not worried about pushing someone to red, because if I start baiting special attacks and triggering a bunch of Withers, the power gain will eventually invert. So there are all those ruptures I talked about. And then here I just go ahead and detonate into special 2 and it KOs him. But not a fight I would do in season for sure, at least without doing heavies constantly, but then that nerfs my damage with no whiplashes. Moving on, Sasquatch here. Actually wanted to get a real test here with Quicksilver. Just like taking Sasquatch here with pretty much anyone once he gets into Wrath. He's not going to lose any power from throwing special attacks, so you're going to end up in the corner just waiting for it to end, and then getting him to throw another special attack to just lose some power so you can start hitting into him. But benefit here was that I have the slow for that unstoppable special attack when in Wrath, and I have the miss counter. So the MIA is just irrelevant once I get to 300 momentum. And then from here, it was just going to be build whiplashes until we get him into Wrath. Maybe do a special 2 if we get it there, or if we reach it. But again, this Sasquatch had suicide, so we don't get a real attempt with a real health pool. He's just slowly dying here. He's at the regen phase, so it would take one more special 2 with enough whiplashes and detonating to finish him. It wouldn't have to be a crazy amount. I just need that. I just need to get to that special 2. Here he is in Wrath. He's not going to lose any energy from these special attacks, and through it I'm going to constantly build Wither. Not that we are worried about passive power gains, since we're not triggering dexterity. And down he goes. He ends up KOing himself. So move on. Boss fight. This is the same person who placed the Sasquatch, so I know this fight has suicides. So again, not really a true attempt, but whatever. Absorbing Man is pretty simple counter-wise. As long as you're not using someone who's going to build his morph charges like crazy, he's actually quite easy to fight, especially if you're comfortable with the heavy retaliation of either of his special attacks. So ideally, I'm going to want to push, if the power gains a lot, I'm going to want to push him to either form, but alternating. And then I'm going to want to retaliate that form or that special attack with a heavy. The point in the fight where it gets really, really sketchy if you're fighting Absorbing Man is if one of his forms gets refined, and then just contact with him either through block or hitting him starts to get a little tricky in there. For some reason, it was a light attack instead of a heavy. So now we have to push him to special 1 and get that. Here we go. He's refined, but it's okay. Knock him down, and I cancel that form. We have a lot of whiplash built up, so I'm going to get in my opening here, do the medium, light medium, into my special 2. He's not in Uru, so we don't have to worry about physical resistance. And then, boop, take a good chunk out of him. He's at special 2 here, which is good, because the cooldown for getting him out of Uru was still up, but it's gone now. Boop, bye-bye magma. So again, not in his form. Doing a good bit of burst damage here with the trauma now. And then this here will finish it into special 2 and done. So that was the end of that off-season war. Fun, a lot of suicides, so definitely very helpful. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, and I will catch you guys at the last off-season war.